What's up, single guys and girls, and also people in relationships, because we understand that all demographics are listening to us right now. We just wanted to say welcome to episode 2 of the Single Girls Chat. We just wanted to give a very special thank you to you guys, all those who listened for the pilot episode. We really, really appreciate it. We've been getting really awesome feedback. We've been getting so many listens, much more than we expected, which is really, really cool. Please keep the fan mail coming in through Instagram, Twitter, text message if you have our numbers. We love to hear what you guys have to say. We have a group chat and we share it throughout the day, so it's like really, really awesome. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We love you. I'm your co-host, Elizabeth, or you can call me Liz.
I'm Sylvia. You could call me Sylvia.
And I'm Natalie.
For this week's episode, we took questions from the audience. We sent out a Google form to many of our guy friends, and we got back amazing questions covering all things dating and relationships. We got back so many responses, we couldn't fit them into one episode, but we will. Expect the rest of the questions in a future episode that will be coming up soon. We hope you appreciate the responses. If you have any feedback or additional follow-up questions, by all means, feel free to message us.
Yeah, and just please keep sending in questions because we love answering them and we have the best discussions while answering them.
So yeah, enjoy, guys. And one more thing, I just want to clear the air here. I made a comment last episode saying that I like cuddling with my guy friends. I think you all misinterpreted that. Maybe your definition of cuddling is not my definition. I'm very comfortable with my guy friends. I love giving hugs, but please stop asking me. I will not cuddle with you. That is all. Enjoy the episode.
What's the most memorable gift a significant other has given you?
That's a very sweet question. I think in asking that, you definitely overestimate. I think you're overestimating males a bit here.
Yeah, is that a thing? Are they supposed to give you gifts?
I can't relate.
Does a bottle of wine count?
Maybe if you were in a long-term relationship, you're about to get married to this person, I think you would probably get a present, but I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. If you want me to, someone give me a present. I would appreciate that. If you give me a present, I will automatically fall in love with you. Not really, but I might.
You know, the love languages, getting a present isn't one of my love languages. So I don't even think that would make me happy, honestly. I acts of service more.
Okay, I've never gotten a present from a significant other, but if I did, I'd want it to be either something super pretty and glittery, like nice hoop earrings, some new hoop earrings, or something super dorky, where it's they know my personality and my interests, something that reflects me.
Asking after a present or having somebody bring up the fact that they didn't get you a present and then getting you a present doesn't count as getting you a present. When I had a significant other, my friends were why didn't you get her anything for her birthday? And then he got me flowers. But then it wasn't he wanted to get me flowers.
Wait.
Wanted to. It was because the friends were why didn't you get her anything?
Pressured.
He didn't get you anything for your birthday?
Oh.
That's terrible.
Nothing.
So
and then
sad.
After I got I was these flowers don't mean anything. And then they died. And then my mom's it wasn't meant to be.
It's a metaphor for the relationship.
So that doesn't count. So probably nothing.
Send presents, guys. It'd make me happy. I mean, we can give platonic presents here. I'm not above that. I will accept your present.
I like platonic presents too.
Platonic presents are the best because honestly, you don't need to be in a relationship to get a present. And honestly, I've gotten lots of really great presents, and none of them have been from a significant other. But guess what? Those people are still in my life. The significant others are not. So
I don't really like romantic presents, or I just feel awkward about it.
Well, if you are super comfortable with them, then yeah, that'd be cool. But if you're just starting out 3 months in and it's Valentine's Day or something, yeah. Short answer, nothing. But please send them my way.
Cool. Thanks, guys. What's a food you hate irrationally? I really like this question because it has nothing to do with relationships, Jen.
We appreciate the submission. We really do.
This is a testament to how seriously we take the question.
No question left behind.
I'm relatively like not a picky eater, so I don't know if I have like an irrational hatred for like any food.
What I don't like are bland food. Like
Yeah, I
steamed
agree.
vegetables with no anything on them. I don't like those.
Mhm.
Those remind me of school lunches. Steamed carrots.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
So as a kid, I had an irrational like hatred of foods, but I grew out of that luckily. But it was for like really weird foods that are actually like really, really good. So when I was a kid, I hated the taste of horchata. It's like that Mexican like rice water beverage.
Yeah.
Have you guys had horchata?
Yeah, it's so good.
It's really good. But as a kid, I like hated it. Like I couldn't drink it. Like I'd be like, what? Like I'd start like gagging. But then I also hated cilantro.
Yes,
Wait, are
I
you one of
hated
those
it.
people that taste like soap when they eat cilantro?
Yeah, do you have a
No,
special season?
no, not even. I didn't taste it. I just didn't like it, which is really
Oh.
weird. But now I love it.
I still don't like mushrooms. I will not eat a mushroom.
Interesting.
Mushrooms
Why?
are good.
The texture. I like mushroom soup, but like I like the taste of them, but I don't like the texture of it. I'm like all slimy and irky. Like no.
Wait, doesn't
I will
mushroom
not
soup
eat
have
mushrooms.
mushrooms in it? Like the textured
Yeah,
mushrooms?
I literally pick it out. I have a little strainer on top of the strainer, and then out in the garbage they go. Hate
That's
mushrooms.
interesting. Wow.
So extra.
I hate mushrooms. I will not eat them. And then they say snails taste exactly like mushrooms, and I won't eat a snail either because it's a mushroom.
What's your ideal first date?
Ooh, good question. First dates you can screw up very, very easily. No, honestly,
I never see that
not
person
gonna-
again.
No, honestly, like, not gonna lie, I've definitely had this conversation many, many times with many different people. I don't know why, but I really like first dates that are like outside.
Same.
It's a lot more relaxing because, not gonna lie, first dates are like really stressful. Yeah, and I don't care who the person is. Like, if you know them super well, if you don't know them that well, like you get like anxiety like right before. And like when you're outside, especially when like the weather's nice, like you feel like warm. Just being outside just puts you in a good mood to begin with.
Yeah, I would
feel
say an activity where if the conversation goes into a bit of a lull, you have something else to talk about. What you're doing.
That's
where
a
you
very
are.
good point. That's a very good point. And I've had, so guys, I know you guys run out of things to say very easily. I've seen it. It's not your fault. It happens. However, I think it is good to be prepared. And I would recommend on a first date, you should have a list. And it doesn't have to be like solid, like interview like questions, but just like talking points that you can use. Because not gonna lie, like I do that, like not even so much on first dates, but sometimes I'll do that like on phone calls with like friends that I haven't seen in a while. Because I'm like super, super excited and I want to make sure that I tell them everything that I want to tell them. Yeah, do that because if you know what to say, a girl will be very impressed because we're used to having guys not know what to say. If running out of things, never encountered a guy who actually like knew what to say and knew what to bring up. I'd appreciate it because it feels like the guy's putting in effort. It really does. I think
Actually plan it out. Don't just
a little
go
bit,
with the
yeah.
flow.
Girls like effort. And
Yes.
and don't plan it out like in a stressed out way. Like you don't have to be like we're doing A, B, and C.
Yeah.
But it's nice. But it's nice to have an idea because girls really appreciate effort. Like if I'll have like a guy friend will like text me and they'll like come up with like a question to ask me, like I appreciate that because it shows that like they actually like they value my time and they want to hear like what I have to say. So
I feel like for me, definitely something interactive too. So like probably
yeah,
go
definitely.
like on a hike or going to like
Yeah.
a museum or something where you can actually talk. Like going to the
Exactly.
movies, going out to dinner, or
Dinner is the
inviting
worst
me
on a
to
first
party.
date.
Exactly.
And it's so forced. Whereas I
And it
feel
could
like
be
if you guys,
it could get so awkward so quickly if
exactly.
you don't have
Whereas,
anything to talk about.
but also, you know, I think if you guys want to do like a coffee date, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
And this is
I would
why.
like that.
And this is why it's different as opposed to dinner. Because coffee is like more casual. It's like cheaper. It's for, you know, a shorter amount of time. Like if it's not going anywhere, you don't have to worry about like sitting there for like 2
You could
hours.
just
Not
dip.
exactly. But if it is going somewhere, coffee date's perfect because it's very easy to like transition into a different activity. Like you
Yeah.
guys could be getting coffee, and if you really like the person, you'd be like, hey, you want to? There's like a park close by. You want to go to the park and like chill or whatever. Like I think that's really cool. So yeah, those are just some ideas right there. But
Why do girls go to the bathroom more often than guys? Why do they go in pairs?
that's like our time to chill. Like the bathroom in the clubs is like one of the most empowering places.
That is the nicest spot ever. I've gotten the best compliments at the club in the girls' bathroom.
It's literally just females supporting each other. Like, we're not worried about men. We're not worried about the trash. We're just there to have fun and to dance, and we're fixing up our makeup, and we're like, oh my gosh, you look so pretty. Oh my gosh, you're beautiful. Don't worry about men. Don't waste your time with them. That's literally all we're doing for like 10 to 15 minutes.
And then there's usually a girl crying in there, and everybody's just like, fuck that man who made you cry. You could do so much better than him. They have no context. They have no context to the story, but we support the girl in the bathroom crying.
It's so true. We have unconditional love and support for fellow women. It's very, very true. But but that's what we do. It's a fun time. It's an empowering time. We share makeup. We
compliments,
laugh, talk,
ideas.
We compliment the hell out of each other.
We meet best friends in there for 5 minutes.
And that's why we go in pairs.
Never see them again.
And that's why we go in pairs, to encourage the camaraderie. The camaraderie and to make some memories.
Or even to escape from a situation. My favorite was when we went to the bathroom at the club, and then I told the guy, and the guy's like, they're not coming back. Like, that's your scapegoat right there.
That's like cute. Like when you're like, we're going to the bathroom, you're not seeing me again.
You can't follow us in there.
That's like plan B.
Yeah.
How to get away.
What's the best date you've ever been on?
For me, I think it's like not so much what we did, but for me it was like who I was with. Like, I just really enjoyed my time with that person. This is just me, but like we didn't really even do anything. Like, we were just kind of bumming around. So like, yeah, we were just kind of bumming around downtown, like not really doing too much, just like hanging out, sharing stories. Like, I really liked it because it was just like super chill, super comfortable. Like,
yeah, the best date is when the conversation just flows. You're both laughing, having fun. You don't want it to end.
I think it's like the chemistry, right? I think
the vibes.
My favorite date, hands down, and like this is like strange because it was only a one dater and that's it, and I'm not even
a one dater. So like if you had one date.
It was literally one date. That's it. No contact after that, and we only we started talking like about a week before the date via Instagram, but we went to school together. And he asked me if I wanted to go on a rooftop with him. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go get one drink. So then I took an Uber downtown, and he met me over there, and we were at the rooftop. It was really nice. He paid for my drinks. And then at the end of the night, like, we walked around downtown a little bit, and I was like, wow, this is actually really nice. We're actually walking. Like, he was talking the whole time with me. And then he took an Uber all the way to my house and all back downtown because he lived downtown.
That's nice.
Like, that was
really
that
sweet.
was probably like one of the, that was like, I was like, what? And like, it was, he literally only knew me for 1 week. Like, that date left like a lasting impression on me because even though like, well, I think it was just set mutual that it wasn't going to work out. But even though he knew it wasn't going to work out, he didn't just ditch me and be like, bye.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a good guy right there.
What I considered his best date ever, let me also clarify, there was not a follow-up date. Don't worry, I don't want to discourage you guys.
It could be like the best date ever, and then you never see the guy again.
Doesn't work out.
I feel like that's a common theme.
And it wasn't so much like I never saw him again. It didn't work out for
you just don't connect in that way.
Or sometimes you do and it just doesn't work out.
Or that.
That's life. You move on, you keep the memory, and you grow.
And then a girl talks about that date on her podcast. Does sliding in someone's DMs ever work? How could it?
You know, I think sliding in DMs, it gets a bad rap. Instagram, and the guy sends some random message like, you're so beautiful, heart emojis, like hey. Or hey. Yeah, even worse.
I am not responding to a hey. You got to put a little bit more effort into it than that.
Arguably, compared to other mediums, it's a relatively lower standard, right? So what's it called? Like low risk, but also like lower like low reward prospect, kind of. So just be prepared for that. If you don't get a response, it's nothing personal. Sometimes people just won't see DMs, right? I mean, I
feel like girls just get in general a lot of DMs.
Yeah, like we get it from like bots, from people trying to sell stuff. Like DMs is not something that we regularly check. But if you do want to have a higher chance of getting responded to, I'd try to make it a little original, maybe.
Yeah, if you slide into a girl's DMs, make it something that she could actually respond to. I am not responding to hard eyes or the fire emoji.
So I'm just thinking of like DMs. It probably means you've been like creeping around the girl's page for a little bit. So you probably know at least a little bit of information about like what interests her, what she likes. So if you can try to take that knowledge, that information of like what interests her, and try to craft that into like
don't be too creepy about it.
Not too creepy.
Don't be like, last Thursday I saw you at this restaurant drinking this drink. I thought I could make it for you for our first date. No.
I think like maybe something like, oh hey, I saw your dog in your Instagram post. Like he looks really cute. Like what's his name?
Like if you comment on my pets, I will respond.
Yeah,
because I am so proud of my pets.
I love talking about my little pups. Try to make it a little genuine. Try to make it a little natural. Try to tailor it to her interest a little bit, but not too much. But yeah, at all costs, avoid hey, quotation marks. Avoid
emojis.
OMG.
Just emojis.
Avoid OMG. You're so beautiful.
Don't send something mean just to try to get a response from her, because I've gotten really mean DMs before from guys that I know like me, so I had to block them. You're getting blocked if you send me something mean.
If you're mean, that is if you're mean, if you're rude, that is a one-way ticket to getting blocked.
If you're at the bar with your friends, would you like it if a guy/group of guys came up to you and tried to flirt, or would you find it annoying? This happens very often. I think it depends on how you approach the group and the body language of the group. If they're very closed up in a circle, just looking at each other, not looking around the room, that means they're not trying to talk to any guys that night. So just leave them alone. If they look more open and they're kind of glancing around over at people, then you might be able to approach the group if you do it correctly.
Don't be too pushy. Don't be touchy-feely right away. If you put your hands on my waist, you will get
a death stare from every person in that group. We're gonna go to the bathroom and talk shit about you.
We will go to the bathroom. Yes. Don't be too pushy.
Don't say anything weird.
Be polite.
Don't be awkward.
Don't be awkward. Do not go up to a girl at the bar and offer to buy her a drink as the introduction to you, because she's going to say yes. She's going to take the drink, and then she's going to say, I'll be right back, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And she's taking that drink, she's chugging it, and you're not going to see her again.
Understand that all the girls in the group are different, and just because one girl is digging it and maybe might like one of your friends, that doesn't mean that there's one for each of you. Don't assume that. Please don't be presumptuous like that.
That is a constant theme. It's like, all right, we're just going to play match right now.
They split up and they just take the girls away from the group.
If you're a guy on your own, if you're away from your group and you're trying to approach one particular girl, again, do not introduce yourself by grabbing her by the waist. Try not to have that overly obnoxious, I'm super, super drunk look on your face. Because if you walk up to a girl and you can't even keep your eyes from drooping, no, I will not. I'm sorry.
I'm not entertaining that tonight.
Do not come up to a group of girls when they are talking to other guys too.
Do not intrude on another group.
You will get.
That is a big no.
Okay,
we had a bad experience
out of the club.
We got invited to a table by a group of guys, and then another group of guys came up to us and started talking to us, specifically one Irish man talking to Natalie. One of the guys from the original group went to the bouncer and told them to get the hell out of there, and they got kicked out of the club, and we saw them wandering the streets trying to get into another club. at midnight. So do not do that. You will get kicked out of the club.
Back to the DMs question, don't be surprised if the success rate is super low. It's just the environment. Like, you can try it, sure, but I mean, especially depending on the girl, like, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. Like, some girls are they're more comfortable, they're more open to having a guy approach them, while others are, like, more reserved. Like, me personally, if I'm at the club, I just kind of want to hang out with my gal pals, you know? I'm not really looking for a guy at the club, and again, that's not every girl. Some guys, I'll shut down, like, 2 seconds in just by the look on their face, or if they start, like, grabbing me right away, I'm just like, no, get out of here. But other guys, you know, they're a little more polite, you know, like, they'll try to have an actual conversation, and that I appreciate, so I'll let them talk for a little bit.
Be like, what's your name? Tell me about yourself. Things about you.
No, you can't tell me about yourself at the club, though.
Well, not exactly tell me about yourself, but like bring questions or get to know the person.
I like cheesy pickup lines at the club. So they catch your attention, and then you start laughing about it, and then you guys can continue the conversation from there.
If you're a cheesy pickup line kind of guy, go for it. Shoot your shot. See.
If it's a good cheesy pickup line, though, don't come at me with that space pants stuff.
Space pants?
Are you wearing space pants? Because that ass is out of this world.
Nothing of that sort.
Would you go after a guy even if he wasn't single? No. Girl code.
No.
Girl code.
No.
Hard.
No.
The 3 of us literally said no.
Women respect each other.
No.
I will. There's enough men in this world. You're not that special.
I'm not chasing after some man.
Yeah,
like, honestly, think about it. Even if you guys did end up together, what are the odds that it's gonna work out? Most things don't work out anyway, so why are you gonna make yourself like a homewrecker out of it? Like, just have a clean slate,
and like, even if you end up together, that's like a really sad start to the relationship.
It's a really crappy story. How did you guys meet?
If he leaves somebody for me, then what are the chances that he's not going to leave me for somebody else?
Exactly. That just says so much about the person. And it's so
my favorite guy story that this happened was I was in LA and this guy hit me up from school. And he was like, oh, hey, we didn't really hang out when we went to school together. We should totally meet up. 6 months later, or whatever, how it is, Valentine's Day, I see his girlfriend post, happy Valentine's Day. I love you.
Trash. That is trash. Does a guy's height and weight matter?
This question was asked several times. It's definitely a frequently asked question on here, I'd say.
I feel so bad about my answer because my thing is that a guy has to be over 6 feet tall.
Oh my gosh.
6 foot taller or nothing.
I'm going to be honest with you. For a lot of women, yes, size matters a lot. Why don't you guys go ahead and describe your size type? I'm sure the world...
He has to be over 6 feet tall. Well, listen, I'm 5'7", so when I wear heels, I could be like 5'10", 5'11", and I need the guy to be taller than me when I'm wearing heels.
So if you're 5'10" and you tell Sylvia you're 5'11", you might have a shot.
No, I could tell a person that's 5'10" from a person that's 5'11".
My size type is 6 foot tall. As all my friends know, my famous quote is, it's 6 foot tall, no other requirements needed.
For every inch over 6 feet tall you are, that's another month I'll let you waste my time for.
No, yeah, we were in a cab and there was a guy that and I asked him, I was like, so how tall are you? And then he was like 6'3", and I was like, ooh, I like you better. Not overweight, but not bulky muscle either, but just
I don't like muscle.
Nice weight, just a nice regular
normal weight. I want you to weigh more than me though. That's a thing.
That's what I want. That's what I wanted to go into. You guys are Natalie. You're into what did you say? Guys with a base.
With a base.
No.
Natalie likes men with base, so they have the broad shoulders and the chest. You know.
That was Natalie a year ago. The new Natalie doesn't like bases anymore. I did a nice base, but now a nice sturdy man, but not anymore. Well, no, he doesn't have to be skinny. I just need you to be tall. You could I don't really care about the weight part. I just need you to be tall.
I love short guys.
Short kings.
5'10" is not short. 5'9" is not short. 5'8" is not short.
Pushing it.
5'7", 5'6". 5'7", 5'6" you're still tall to me.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how tall the girl is.
If you're a shorter guy, you're probably gonna have better luck going after a shorter girl. But even size doesn't really matter that much, because yes, shorter guys are cool. I like the shorter men, but if you're tall, I don't care. I'm not gonna be
is that I'm already the tallest one in my friend group.
She is the tallest.
So I'm just towering over everybody, and I don't need to tower over a man as well.
Whereas for me, I'm super teeny to begin with. So for me, it's I'm a one size fits all kind of girl. I go well with all body types. I don't mind if the guy is a dad bod. It's kind of cute.
Dad bods are in 2020. Can you detail your nice to haves versus deal breakers when considering whether to date a guy?
Well,
6 feet tall is a deal breaker. I'm just kidding. That's a nice to have. I just have core values and characteristics that I look for in a person.
Have a good sense of character.
Just a nice person, adventurous, somebody with goals. Doesn't have to know completely what they want to do with their life.
You gotta put effort. It's gotta be a two-way street. The relationship. Yeah, I just just text me once in a while so I know if you care.
I hate it when somebody eats loud. When they chew loudly, it pisses me off.
So it's interesting. Before, I used to think, oh, does the guy have to have a lot in common with me, interest-wise, because I love music, right? I consider myself a music connoisseur or whatever. Mm-hmm. So at first I'd always wondered, does the guy have to be into music a lot like me? But it's nice, but that's not even a requirement for me either. And I'm a diehard musician. That is who I am. For me, at the end of the day, it's chemistry and it's personality. Cause
same personality even number one.
Because even if you're not into the stuff that I'm into, it's kind of cool, because then you guys get to share stuff with each other, And
I want him to be a little bit different, have his own interests.
Yeah.
Are you nice to waiters when we're at the restaurant?
Wait, what about
stuff like that?
What about if? Yeah, just try not to. Don't be an alcoholic, because that's annoying. What do you guys think about drugs?
Okay, if it's weed, that's fine. I'd be fine with that. It depends on the drugs. If they're doing hard drugs and they're
but I don't want you to be a pothead. If I find out you
not every day. I don't think I'd care as long as they're not doing that every day.
I'd care a little bit.
I think I would care too. I feel I wouldn't want that.
If you're doing drugs at a music festival and that's the only time you're actually doing drugs, then I'd be fine with that.
Are you even listening to the music?
True.
In my opinion, the more on substances that you are, it's more for the sensation than it is for the art.
Why pay $100 to go to a music festival and do that?
And then you don't even remember it. Yeah, it bothers me.
Me and Natalie have gotten that a lot at music festivals where they're what are you on? And we're I had 2 beers.
Yeah, again, a lot of energy on our own.
I know they're whoa, what'd you take? And I'm this is just me.
Yeah, I was
I don't need drugs.
And again, no judgment or anything. I'm not gonna hate you for it.
You do you. I do need a man that actually drinks, though. I don't mean an alcoholic drinks, but has a beer or two,
Yeah, somebody that I can go to a wine tasting.
Yeah, or a brewery,
or a rooftop or a brewery. Yeah, exactly. Somebody else that could, because it's not fun for me to just be sitting on myself, because that's not the point of drinking. The point is to enjoy the experience of it, not okay, let me just drink this all by myself.
Somebody who's gonna pregame with me before our child's birthday party is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
What's your favorite way to meet guys?
Ooh, in person.
In person. 100%.
It's just nice. It's sweeter. It has a cute story. I personally am not a fan of online dating at all. Granted, I have friends that I have friends that are the complete opposite. They're obsessed with online dating, but I just can't. It makes me sad. I'm gonna try to avoid it at all costs.
I
But
feel
yeah,
like you'd be trying to like keep up conversations with so many people because you don't have anything invested in one single person.
I'm just a very big fan of like interpersonal contact.
But like, where in person would you meet a guy?
Like I'm thinking, well, I do a lot of stuff, right? Like I have a lot of interests, so I'm always out and about. I'm constantly meeting new people, like through friends and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's like how it would happen. Like again, I can't.
Friends.
Through mutual
I
friends is
guess.
probably like my favorite.
Well, this is like really funny, just the whole like quarantine, like Corona stuff like that. I'm not dissing online relationships in any way. Like don't take it the wrong way. But like at work, we've been doing like we've been having like a project where we like work remote nationwide with people. And not gonna lie, I've made some pretty good friendships through that, and it's kind of crazy because I've never been a fan of the online stuff, but it feels like I know them in real life, and I do, right? Because like I talk to
But
them.
I feel
like
like there's more of a commitment since you guys are working together. But let's say you get
it is
a dating
different.
app, you could just like cut somebody off, no problem.
That is true. Like no diss to the internet or whatever. It's just online dating. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I feel like online dating can work if you actually invest your time in it and you actually
It
try.
can work. It's not for me.
Nah, I need to see the man in person to make sure he's 6 feet tall. Online, they like to say they're 6 feet tall, but then they end up being like 5'9", you know? I don't know, but
catfish.
I feel like that's a common theme probably.
That's literally how it is.
What do girls want in a guy?
Good character.
Good character, personality, humor. If you can make me laugh, then you've got me.
I think somebody who, for me, would be somebody who's smart and like is in the science field. So like I would have somebody to talk to. I want somebody of that kind of thing. Like that's
for me, it changes. For me, it changes because I'm just thinking about like guys that have like caught my interest and they're not really similar. They're all kind of different. Right. I do appreciate the sweet and wholesome type. Those are really good. Those make me smile.
I like even little secret nerds, guys that are actually pretty nerdy and get good grades, but they still go out to parties and stuff.
Hi everyone, we're taking a break from the main content and introducing a new 10-minute segment called Blind Date, where we talk to a guy about his hobbies, his interests, and get his perspective on the world. Today, we talked to Mason about his passion for photography and his participation on the board of his nonprofit, 200 Orphanages Worldwide. Let's hear his story now. Hi, Mason. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Happy to be here. Yeah, I'm Mason Hoffensberger. I'm 24 years old. I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Tell us a bit about some of your hobbies, Mason.
Yeah, so my biggest hobby is probably photography. Traveling, hiking, that sort of thing. I love traveling and getting around, and photography allows me to document the different places I see, and so it's been a lot of fun.
Nice, good stuff. Wait, yeah. So you mentioned photography, which definitely we would love to talk a bit more about. So one thing that I'm just curious, could you like tell us when you initially started like getting into photography and like how that happened?
Yeah, for sure. So I had a friend who was slowly getting into it probably 4 or 5 years ago now, just when I was starting college.
Got it.
And at first I wasn't really interested in photography in of itself. It seemed like a awesome way to sort of document travels and hikes and things like that, the things I love doing. And as I did that more and more, I got a lot more interested in the art form of photography. And, you know, there's a great community of photographers in the Cincinnati area, in the Chicago area, the LA area. There's a great community of photographers pretty much in every city. And so as I met more and more of them, it just made me fall in love with the collaboration aspect of everything. And
so, like, could you, like, go into a bit more, like, your style of photography, I guess?
Yeah, so definitely nature-wise, I love taking pictures of, you know, waterfalls. I love going on lakes and things like that. Really the things that inspire me, just sort of really seeing other people's work and getting to see different aspects of nature that I haven't seen before.
And you mentioned like community of like photographers. So like, how did you go about like meeting those?
Yeah, so basically it's Instagram, essentially. Instagram is the big one. When my friend and I started taking pictures, we kind of used Instagram as like a portfolio platform, just to sort of post pictures there. And then as you learn more and more about things, you know, people started DMing each other on Instagram. We found like the other photographers in the community that like to do the exact same style that we did. And, you know, through them, we learned about different hidden spots in our city, different editing techniques. And so, yeah, it's a great way to learn and discover new places. Places-wise, it kind of depends on what I'm taking pictures of.
Okay.
City-wise, my favorite city to take pictures of is definitely Chicago by far.
Nice.
There's so many different spots, so many good angles, and it's a beautiful city all around. So city-wise, it's definitely Chicago. If I'm taking pictures of, if I'm taking pictures of landscapes and stuff like that, it's got to be, you know, some of the big national parks. Yosemite is gorgeous. Yellowstone is fantastic. So I'd go to Yosemite every year if I could. It's beautiful.
I remember a while back you mentioned that you took this one like road trip, and you went to a lot of different places and you took a lot of different pictures. So could you talk about that a bit more in detail?
Yeah, for sure. So back maybe 3-4 years ago, maybe 2 years into when I started photography, my friend and I, who I started photography with, we took a 3-week road trip and we rented a car and drove from Cincinnati basically to San Francisco. And we stopped at a bunch of places in between. We stopped in Las Vegas, and I saw the desert for the first time. We stopped in Yosemite for the first time, drove up to San Francisco. Yeah, and we actually drove up the coast, the California coast, and up to Seattle actually, and then back down through Yellowstone and Montana and Wyoming and to Ohio. So I think it was like 9,600 miles all in, but it was a great 3 weeks.
Yeah. Wow, that's super impressive for sure. Okay, yeah. And then Mason, I remember you mentioned that you're on the board for a nonprofit that you're involved in. Could you talk about that for us? Like, what is it about? How did you get involved?
Yeah, so I am on the board of a nonprofit called 200 Orphanages Worldwide. The goal is to essentially help orphans in, you know, third world countries and give them resources. We have partnership organizations that provide clean water and shelter and food and sustainability. So we kind of work to partner with them and provide the best life for these orphans we can. It's a cause that sort of hits close to home for me because my sister was adopted from Russia maybe 10 years ago or so.
Got it.
And I was able to go over there with my parents and sort of tour the orphanages. I saw where my sister came from, and my sister comes from specifically a special needs orphanage in rural Russia, so they don't have a ton of resources there.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a cause that hits home for me because I was over there and I saw what kind of shape these places are in. And so getting the opportunity to do anything I can to help those kids is, it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really, really impressive for sure. Super cool. But so how did you like get involved with 200 orphanages, like with the organization, like specifically? And how did you get to be on the board for them?
Yeah, so I had always done like volunteer days at work or college and, you know, always sort of volunteered randomly throughout my community. And once I graduated college, I knew I wanted to do something more. I knew I wanted to be on the board one day.
Okay.
And I was talking to a coworker who has a ton of nonprofit experience. And he was like, you know, you kind of have the skill set now if you want to lend your skills to a board. So I began looking online. I came across 200 orphanages. At first I was looking at nonprofits in the Cincinnati area alone, but, you know, like I said, this one hits close to home. It's a cause I really care about. So I just kind of reached out. She said they were looking to add a board member with sort of finance experience. And So I sort of came in at that point, and it's been great ever since.
Wow. Yeah, that's really cool. And then I guess just like while we're wrapping this up, we do have like listeners on the show who I'm like sure would be interested about that. So if they're like interested in like helping out or like donating or anything like that, is there a means for them to do so?
Yeah, definitely. You can go to 200orphanagesworldwide.org, and there's a donate button right on the homepage. Or if you just want to learn more about it, anything will help, and even sharing the page on your social media will help. So.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that super helpful information.
Yeah.
And then just for people who are like interested in like your photos or anything or like photography, you have an Instagram page, is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Okay, and you wanna mind dropping the handle?
Yeah, so it's Mason Scott H at with one T. The story behind that is Scott's my middle name, but there's a typo on my birth certificate, so one T. But
Wow.
other than that, Mason Scott H.
Yeah, that's a cool fun fact.
Is it fixed now, or is it still like that?
No, I think once my parents caught the mistake, they were like, "Yeah, just forget it. Just let it go."
Yeah. Too much red tape to handle and all that. Yeah, well, thanks again so much, Mason, for being on the show. We really appreciate that was a really great interview, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
He's helping all these organizations on his own time, and he's doing it because he wants to, not because he's being forced to or has community service hours to do.
I know.
He also has like actual real hobbies. Like, how many people are who actually has a hobby? Like, if I could literally ask,
sure
like,
don't.
a few of my peers. Yeah,
Most-
like, do you have a hobby?
Most of the guys I know are like so boring. Like they literally play video games and watch TV, and that's their hobby.
Yeah, like that's not a hobby. Thanks for listening, guys. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Single Girls Chat. And if you have any suggestions for us or would like to appear on the show, make sure to DM us on Twitter or Instagram. Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
You make me feel like you're